and do well. Chirp 2, how confident are you in Jim Montgomery come playoff time? Because last year he even admitted himself made some decisions that probably were uh, negative and caused the Bruins to slip up in that first round.
Well, hopefully he learns from his mistakes. I'm not ultra confident until he proves that he can do it and the team proves they can do it. I think they've obviously underachieved the last few years, and he's been a part of that with making some mistakes with different line combinations and guys playing and goaltending, and just a lot of the decisions weren't the greatest. So I think he does have to kind of prove himself here. So I'm not super confident in him going in. But they always say, too, the first round is the toughest one to get through. So if they can finally figure out a way to break through here in the first round, I think they could be a tough out for teams.
Sure, they could be. And the thing about Montgomery is he's a tinker with the lines kind of guy. And one thing about Julian, when he was with the Bruins, he kind of rolled his 4 lines and kind of kept them together. And even through the ups and downs, just sort of had more patience in that way. And you saw it last year in Game 5 where Montgomery, unexpectedly and really unexplained, just kind of changed his lines around up 3-1 coming home. That was an adverse situation there. So, I think that lately he's been making some good moves, like the Heinen Pastrnak Zaka line. He's been playing Wotherspoon and Peak. Like he's not been just rolling out Grzelcyk, and all these other guys, like continuously just trying to beat a dead horse with different guys. And so he has been doing that and making some decent moves lately. I just hope that he doesn't get into a situation where they lose, say, Game 1, and he's already making all sorts of changes and just being impatient. And like we talked about, resilience, just kind of go out the next night. Let's just win the next game. And maybe it's not because our lines were all screwed up. We just lost the game. Now we can come in and just try to win Game 2. And I just hope that he doesn't get too antsy, knowing that the pressure's probably on him.
I mean, it certainly is a consideration and something that maybe should worry Bruins fans, because they also have a bunch of guys here, that people want to play. You have your Wotherspoons and your Peaks, and what's going to happen with Grzelcyk, what's going to happen with Lowry, like who's going to actually be in the lineup originally to start with, and then if they do lose a game, does he make quick decisions to take one of those guys out? Does JVR come out? Or does Lauko come out when Maroon goes in? Like, how is all that going to work out? Is it going to be matchup based? Is it going to be merit based? Like, who should be in there? Should Beecher be in because he can win faceoffs? There's a bunch of different things there in the bottom 6 and maybe the bottom pair defense that will be interesting to see how he handles that once the playoffs start. Does he have a quick trigger if somebody makes a mistake that they shouldn't have made, or does he stick with them and let them kind of play through it and grow? So, there's definitely some things there that he's going to have to manage well if the Bruins are to advance.
Yeah, no question. So it'll be interesting to see how he does, and what the matchup is to begin with. I mean, like I've said before, like if they go in against Washington, I mean, that's a series they should have not much trouble with. I mean, they shouldn't. But if they go in against a team that's better than Washington, then then who knows? I mean, there's going to be some focus on Montgomery and what he does, and he may have to make some changes and so forth. So I think the matchup's really important in this first round.